So hello guys and welcome back to Glock Predictions. Today I'll be predicting my 2020 NFL Week 4 predictions. Also, disclaimer here, I did go 9-6-1 last week. So that means that my record for Week 1, Week 2, and Week 3 is 31-16-1, including that Bengals-Eagles tie. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer here, and yeah, so that's all I have to say. So without further ado, let's get into it. And now with the first game here, I do have the Denver Broncos versus the New York Jets Thursday Night Football here, and I think that the Broncos are gonna barely squeeze away here versus the Jets. I just think that Jets they're not a good team, and I know that the Broncos are hurt, but I think that the Broncos they'll just barely do enough to beat the New York Jets. And now with the second NFL game here, you do have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Cincinnati Bengals here. And I do believe that if Gardner Minshew does play like he plays in Week 3, I do believe that the Cincinnati Bengals should, in fact, win this game here. I think that Joe Burrow, he's going to get his first NFL win here. And, yeah. And now, this was supposed to be the third NFL game, but because of, COVID, whatever, the Steelers-Titans game, it was postponed, so I'm not even going to put anything in there. I would have picked the Steelers to win, but I'm just saying, like, they're not playing, and I'm not even going to pick them, so, yeah. And now, heading to the fourth AFC game here, you do have the New England Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs here, and I do have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game. I don't know why it says Sunday Night Football. But, yeah, I think that the Chiefs, they look pretty darn good against the Ravens there. And I think that they're barely going to squeeze away and beat the New England Patriots. And now, with the last AFC game here, you have the Buffalo Bills versus the Las Vegas Raiders here. And same thing, I think that the Bills are going to squeeze away and win versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that the Raiders will do better than what they did against the Patriots, but I still think that the Bills will beat the Las Vegas Raiders here. And now, with the first AFC versus NFC game here, you do have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Chicago Bears here. And, this one's a tough one here. I think it's pretty much a toss-up here. It could go either way here, but I am going to go with the Indianapolis Colts here. I know, I'm sorry, Nick Foles fans, but if he does beat the Colts, if the Nick Foles does beat the Colts, I will 100% be on the Nick Foles train. Well, I think that the Bears will just be a better team if they beat the Colts here. I'll just think that they're a better team if they beat the Colts here. But Nick Foles has to prove to me that he's a good enough quarterback to beat the Colts. And, yeah, that's why I'm putting the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Bears here. And now, with the second AFC versus NFC game here, you have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Tampa Bay, like Tom Brady, Tampa Bay, whatever. But anyway, you have the Chargers versus the Buccaneers here. And I'm going to have the Buccaneers here. I think that they're going to they're not going to barely, but I think that they're going to do enough to beat the Chargers here. They're just a better team than them, and yeah. And now with the third AFC versus NFC game here, you do have the Cleveland Browns versus the Dallas Cowboys here. And I'm going to get the Cowboys to, I think that the Cowboys are going to win this game here. I think that the Cowboys, they're going to do enough, like the, Colts versus Bears, whatever. Anyway, yeah, and the Broncos, Jets. But I think that they're going to do enough to beat the Browns here. There's a huge possibility that the Browns do win this game, but my mind is going to go with the Cowboys, so yeah. And now, with the fourth AFC versus NFC game here, you have the Seattle Seahawks versus the Miami Dolphins here. And for this one, you do have the I do have the Seattle Seahawks winning. Again, I just think that they're a better team than the Dolphins. And this one's going to be like quick and yeah. And now, with the fifth, anyway, with the fifth AFC versus NFC game here, you do have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Washington Football Team. And I think that the Ravens, they should be able to win this game here. My mind is predicting that the Ravens are gonna win here. And yeah, I think that they're gonna do enough to beat the Ravens. And yeah. And now with the last AFC versus NFC game here, you do have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Houston Texans. And this one, again, is a really... This could go either way, like the Colts versus Bears. This thing is sort of a toss-up here. But I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings here. I think that they're going to barely pull away against the Houston Texans. And, yeah, this is... Again, this is sort of like a toss-up. This is either way for me, like 50-50. And, yeah. And now with the first NFC game here, you do have the Saints versus the Lions here. And for this one, I think that the Saints are going to do enough to beat the Lions here. It is a possibility that the Lions do beat the Saints, but I think the Saints, I think that the Saints are going to beat the Lions here. And now with the second NFC game here, you do have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Carolina Panthers. And I think that the Cardinals are going to win this game. Again, they're going to just do just enough. Well, yeah, I think that they're going to bounce back from the Lions' loss, and I do think that the Cardinals are going to beat the Panthers. And then with the third NFC game here, you do have the New York Giants versus the Los Angeles Rams. If the Giants hadn't lost Saquon Barkley, maybe they would have had a shot, but, well, I don't know, but anyway, I'm going to go with the Rams here. I think that they're just a better team than the Giants, and again, Saquon Barkley's gone, so I don't think that the Giants are going to beat the Rams here. This is sort of my lock, and yeah, and lock meaning, like, I 100% think that the Rams are going to beat the Giants, but anyway, yeah. And now, with the second to last NFC game here, you do have the Eagles versus the 49ers here. And again, some people, they could say that the Eagles could beat the 49ers, but they tied with the Bengals, and Nick Mullins looked decent against the Giants. So I'm going to go with the 49ers here. I think that they should do enough to beat the Eagles. And yeah. And now with the last NFC game here, you do have the Atlanta Falcons lost chokers because, like, they lost at 20-0. They blew a 20-0 lead, and then they blew a 16-0 lead. Well, not 16-0, but like, anyway, what am I saying? Okay. Anyway, they blew a big lead, is what I'm trying to say. And anyway, they're playing the Green Bay Packers, and I think that the Packers, they're gonna win this game. I think that they're pretty darn underrated, and they're looking good. The Packers. I think that they could make it to the Super Bowl. Honestly, they're looking pretty good. And I think that the Packers, they're just a better team than the Falcons. And that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you like that, I highly recommend if you hit the subscribe button, that's going to be to the left. Like the video, that's going to be to the right. And just turn on the notifications, please. Like, yeah, I'm changing my outro a bit. Okay, whatever. But just, like, yeah. And, yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. So, much love. Peace, 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 peace.